In July 2024, this company caused the largest IT outage in history. One bad software update crashed 8.5 million Windows computers at once. Airlines grounded planes. Hospitals went dark. Banks froze. The damage ran into tens of billions of dollars. By any normal logic, its customers should have fled. 2 years later, that company is bigger than ever. Its recurring revenue just crossed $5.5 billion, its customer retention is still 97%, and the stock is near all-time highs. That company is CrowdStrike. So how does a company survive its own worst nightmare, and is the stock, priced for perfection, worth it? Let's run the numbers. Start with what CrowdStrike actually does. It sells cybersecurity from the cloud, through a platform called Falcon. The clever part is the design, one lightweight piece of software, a single agent, installed on every laptop, server, and cloud workload a company owns. That one agent feeds a massive cloud brain that watches for attacks across millions of machines at once, so a threat seen at one customer instantly protects them all. And on top of that single agent, CrowdStrike sells modules, endpoint protection, identity, cloud security, and next-generation security analytics. You install once, then switch on more and more capabilities over time. That architecture, one agent, many modules, is the entire business model. Remember it, because it explains everything that follows. Now back to that outage, because it is the real test of this business. On July 19, 2024, CrowdStrike pushed a faulty update, a tiny mismatch in a single content file, and the Falcon agent crashed the very Windows machines it was meant to protect. 8.5 million of them, worldwide, at once. It was the largest IT outage ever recorded. For a security company, whose entire product is trust, this was the worst imaginable event. And here's what makes CrowdStrike fascinating as a business. The thing that broke everything, that single agent sitting deep inside every system, is also the thing that makes customers unable to leave. The outage was a catastrophe. It was also a live demonstration of just how deeply embedded this software is. So why didn't customers run? One word, switching costs. Once Falcon is wired into a company's laptops, servers, cloud, and identity systems, ripping it out and replacing it is a massive, risky, multi-year project. Forgiving one mistake, even a catastrophic one, is easier than re-architecting your entire security stack. The proof is in the numbers. Gross retention held at 97%, meaning almost no one left. And dollar-based net retention is around 115%, meaning the customers who stayed actually spent more. Read that again. After causing the worst outage in IT history, CrowdStrike's customers, on net, increased their spending. That is what a real moat looks like, not the absence of mistakes, but survival in spite of them. So how does that resilience show up in the financials? In records. For the first quarter of fiscal 2027, revenue was $1.39 billion, up 26%. Annual recurring revenue crossed $5.5 billion, up 24%, with $256 million of net new recurring revenue added in the quarter. Cash generation set records, $591 million of operating cash flow, $468 million of free cash flow. Reported net income just turned positive after a year-ago loss. And management's 4-for-1 stock split took effect in July. This is a high-growth, cash-rich compounder that walked through fire and came out stronger. If you're tracking the businesses with the deepest moats, subscribe. Next is HEICO, the quiet aerospace cash machine almost no one talks about. Now the engine that actually drives the growth, and it goes back to that one agent, many modules design. CrowdStrike lands a customer with one module, then expands. Today, 50% of customers use 6 or more modules, 34% use 7 or more, and 24% use 8 or more. Each new module is high-margin revenue with almost no new sales cost. The accelerant is a program called Falcon Flex, a flexible licensing pool a customer can spend across any module. Flex has exploded to roughly $2 billion in recurring revenue, up about 99% in a year. This is the flywheel: get in the door once, then become the entire security platform. Land and expand. So what is the bigger game here? A word the whole industry now lives by: platformization. For years, Companies purchase security from dozens of separate vendors, a tool for this, a box for that. It was expensive and it didn't talk to itself. The new model is to consolidate all of it onto one platform. CrowdStrike is one of the 3 companies driving that consolidation, alongside Microsoft and Palo Alto. Every module a customer adds makes the platform stickier and the data smarter, because all that telemetry feeds one brain. That's the durable advantage, not a single product, but a consolidation engine. In a world drowning in security tools, being the platform that replaces the rest is the prize worth winning. But this is a fight, so let's lay out the field. At the top sits the giant, Microsoft, the largest security vendor on earth, with about $37 billion in security revenue, bundling its Defender product into the software big companies already pay for. That bundle is CrowdStrike's single biggest threat. Then Palo Alto Networks, the other platform consolidator. Then SentinelOne, a smaller, AI-native rival with about $660 million in recurring revenue. Plus Zscaler in zero-trust networking, and legacy names like Fortinet and Trend Micro. CrowdStrike's edge is the cleanest cloud-native architecture and the best land and expand motion. The risk is simple to name, Microsoft, giving away good enough security inside a bundle. That tension defines the whole sector. Now the valuation, and it is steep. CrowdStrike is worth about $200 billion, and it just split its stock 4-for-1. Here's the cleanest way to see the price, that's roughly 36 times its annual recurring revenue. Not profit, revenue. A premium even among premium software names. So why pay it? Because investors are paying for a category winner, 97% retention, a module-attached machine, record cash flow, and a multi-year runway as security consolidates. But make no mistake, at 36 times revenue, this is priced for perfection. The growth has to keep compounding, the attach has to keep climbing, and Microsoft's bundle has to stay at bay. The quality is not the question. Whether it's worth this price is the entire debate. Let's put it together. On one side, a security platform that survived the worst IT outage in history with 97% retention, recurring revenue past $5.5 billion, net retention of 115%, a module-attached flywheel, record free cash flow, and a consolidation wave at its back. On the other side, a 36 times revenue multiple that prices in years of flawless execution, Microsoft bundling good enough security for almost nothing, and the uncomfortable truth that one more major outage would test a trust premium that just barely survived its worst day. The franchise says category king. The multiple says don't trip. So where do I land? In my view, the outage proved the thesis rather than breaking it. A company can cause the worst IT failure in history and keep 97% of its customers. That is one of the widest moats in software, and it's rare to see a moat stress-tested that brutally and hold. But the price demands respect. At 36 times revenue, you are paying in full for a decade of attach and consolidation going right, with Microsoft pressing the whole time. I'd want to own this franchise, but I'd want the growth to keep outrunning that multiple, and I'd watch retention like a hawk, because the day gross retention slips from 97 is the day the whole story changes. The moat is real. The entry price is the bet. My base case for the next 12 to 18 months, recurring revenue keeps compounding, module attach keeps climbing, and the stock trades on whether growth can justify a very rich multiple. Watch 4 signals. First, net new recurring revenue. $256 million this quarter, up 32%, with guidance raised. Re-acceleration is the bull's proof, a stall is the first crack. Second, module attach and Falcon Flex. 50% of customers at 6+ modules, Flex near $2 billion. The attach engine is the durable lever, watch it keep climbing. Third, retention. 97% gross. As long as it holds, the moat holds, a dip is the Microsoft displacement warning. Fourth, free cash flow and margins. Record free cash flow funds the premium, watch the durability. Upstream, CrowdStrike rides the relentless rise in cyber threats and AI-driven attacks. Downstream, it secures the enterprises and clouds the whole economy runs on. The catalyst that lifts it, consolidation and attach compounding for years. The one that breaks it, Microsoft's bundle, or a second day like July 2024. CrowdStrike caused the largest IT outage in history, 8.5 million machines, and 2 years later it's bigger than ever, with recurring revenue past $5.5 billion and customer retention still at 97%. The moat is switching costs so deep that customers, on net, spent more after the disaster. The engine is module attach and Falcon Flex, up 99%. The game is platform consolidation, against a giant named Microsoft. The catch is the price, about 36 times revenue at a $200 billion valuation, priced for perfection, with one more outage, the thing that could test it all. The bull case is the widest moat in software, stress-tested and standing. The bear case is the price you pay to own it. One stock, all the numbers, no hype. I'm Big Z, follow me, see you in the next deep dive.